get ahead.
Will you veto any legislation that extends all of the Bush tax cuts, even to what you call the wealthy?
Yes, and the reason is we can't afford it. I mean, it would cost us $1 trillion, and at a time when everybody says we've got to drive down our deficit, if you give me a tax break, or Mr. Romney a tax break, or Warren Buffett a tax break, and that costs us $1 trillion, well, that $1 trillion ends up coming out of, a student who's trying to go to school and now he's got to pay higher rates for a student loan. Or it comes out of a tax break that we're pushing for right now for small businesses who we want to reward for hiring or providing higher wages to their workers. So there are trade-offs involved in these things, and it would not make sense for us to give folks like me or Mr. Romney or Mr. Buffett another $1 trillion in tax cuts that we don't need, and then have it come out of the hide of middle-class folks.
Right. You talked earlier today about extending the tax cuts to the middle class.
Right.
What if Congress were to extend them to everyone across the board, including the wealthy? Would you veto it?
I would veto it, and here's why. What I'm proposing is that we give a tax break, that we make sure that taxes don't go up on 98% of Americans. 98%. But to extend tax breaks for that top 2% of wealthiest Americans would cost us $1 trillion over the next decade. Now, at a time when we're trying to bring down our deficit, to give me a tax break or Warren Buffett a tax break that costs $1 trillion, and 80% of that would go to people who make $1 million or more, that would mean that we'd have to cut something. So $1 trillion would be cut out of student loan programs for kids going to college, for projects that take care of our veterans, for projects that benefit our seniors, and that's not the best way for us to grow our economy. So I understand the Republicans disagree with me on this. My attitude is, let's go ahead and work on the thing we agree on, which is give 98% of Americans and 97% of small businesses confidence and security that their taxes aren't going up, and then we can have a good debate between now and the election about what we do for that top 2-3%. I'm happy to have that debate, but no need to hold hostage most Americans who need some certainty right now.